social media post, I'm going to pick Instagram and then I'm going to type in organic shapes in the search because I want to get something I can start with. I like this one down here. It's got nothing to do with green tea, but don't worry. It's just the place I'm starting. So I'm going to type in the name, which is NT, and then I'm going to look for some fonts by tapping on the font menu. Scroll through. There's so many fonts here. You can pick categories. You can pick fonts by name. There's just, so many fonts. So I'm going to go with Berkshire Swash. I think that looks pretty good. And let's move that up so that it's not in the center. And then I'm going to click the T to make another text box. And it's going to automatically be the same font, but I may or may not want it that way. But let's make that box bigger. And then I need some words. So I actually used ChatGPT to get my words. So I typed in that I'm designing social media for enhanced green tea, and this is what I got. So I like number 5 there. From brew to better you, experience the magic of enhanced green tea. Come back over to Canva and paste that right in the text box. Okay, I want a different font for this because I want some contrast between the title font and the text font. So I picked Sniglet there. It's got a good amount of contrast against the Berkshire Swash. And I'm going to adjust the text box to make everything fit nicely. So you can just grab the side handles to make the text box wider without changing the size of the font, or you can grab the corners and move those to change the size of the font. Then I changed it to left align. And I'm going to move some of these organic shapes around so that things fit better. Then you might want to make adjustments as you go along. I'm going to speed this part up, but you can take your time, move things around as much as you want. Okay, once I got everything where I want it, I'm going to go back. I want to get a little icon for tea. So I'm going to type in teacup and I'm going to look at the graphics here. And there's a lot of them, just like there's a lot of everything. Scroll through it, find something you resonate with, and pick it. It goes right onto your design, just like that. Okay, it's a little big. I will grab a corner and shrink it down, and then I'm going to move it over to the left side of the text, kind of running out of space, so it's going to need a little bit of adjustment, no problem. Adjustments are really easy. I'm going to also flip the background so that I have more space where I need it, move it down a little bit, and then I'll be able to move the text over, shrink it slightly, and it'll still fit wonderfully in the space. And then bring the title over to line it with the left edge of the text. All right, this is looking really good, but I want to add a little something more. I want to put a line between the teacup and the words. So go back over to my elements and type in line. Um, I can pick a horizontal or vertical because I could always rotate it, but I'm just going to pick this vertical line here because that's about the size, or at least the orientation I want. And when I shrink it down, it'll be the size that I want. There we go. All right, now I'm going to explore some color options. So if I pick the teacup and tap that black circle up in the top bar, that's the color picker, or the color panel shows up, and I can pick green just by choosing green from the spectrum there and then moving around in the green area to get a lighter or darker green. So kind of a nice deep green for my green tea. I want the same color for this line, so I just have to pick the line and then go click the color. It's already saved. And the same thing for the title. I'm going to try some colors on the background. Obviously, that color is not going to work there because it's the same as the teacup in the title. So if I pick it, but then use the adjuster to slide over to something lighter, I can get my contrast back so I can still read the words and see the teacup. And that color gets saved as well. I'm going to pick the background now. But again, if I use that color, things kind of disappear. So we're going to pick the color and then go back to the color range and try some variations there to see what looks good. Okay, also use the eyedropper to pick a color that's already on the screen and start again from there. So I want to use that on these lines that are on the organic shapes. So just pick the organic lines, pick the color dot, and then go to the color picker to choose the color I want. So again, we're using a lighter green here. So I start with the light green I have, and then I make adjustments. And you could play with color all day long, but I'm kind of good with this. So I'm going to tap the little duplicate page in the upper right hand corner to make another copy of it. So now I have two that are exactly the same, but that's not what I want. So let's start making some changes. The first thing I'm going to do is remove some of these organic shapes. So just click them and delete or the trash can until you have, in my case, just the words. And I'm going to keep the teacup for a second. It may stay or it may change. So I want to get a gradient. So I go back over to my elements panel, type in gradient. I'm looking at graphics, so scroll through that and I'm going to pick this gradient here that's got a kind of nice curved shape on one edge, make it a lot bigger and position it over most of my post area. Okay, obviously this color is not good with the other colors, so let's tap the color and change that. So now it's in the same color family, but I might, want to make further adjustments. Try something lighter, go back to the darker one. Again, playing with color can be something that you spend a lot of time on. I'm going to adjust it just a little bit here, make it slightly brighter. And then I'm actually going to leave this and work on the words for a bit. So I'm going to select the words. Remember, I had lots of words that ChatGPT created for me, so just copy another piece from there. This time it's going to say elevate your day with our enhanced green tea packed with flavor and benefits. I'm going to change Zen tea into a hashtag. I go back to my ChatGPT page and I'm going to copy that feel the Zen hashtag and paste it right in here on my Canva page. All right, I'm going to slide it down into the lower right hand corner so it's kind of below that nice curved gradient I have. And then we're going to change the background color to white. And then I want to use something other than the teacup. So I'm going to select the teacup and the line and hit delete or the trash can to get rid of those. And then I'm going to change the fonts because I want those to be different on each post as well. So I'll select the Elevate Your Day text and I'm going to go over here and find this font called Quicksand and I'm going to pick regular. So it's a little bit lighter than the other font I had. Then I'm going to pick the hashtag Feel the Zen and select Quicksand Bold. So using two fonts like that brings a lot of visual repetition into your piece, which is a great way to create unity and a harmonious design. I'm going to adjust the letter spacing a little bit to make Feel the Zen fit, and then I'm also going to change the alignment on the main text. Move that up to the top right corner, and then you can adjust the size of the font by grabbing the corner of the box and pulling it. You can use the sides of the boxes to change how many words are on each line by making the box wider or narrower. I want to go add a picture to this one too. So in my elements, I'm going to type in green tea. And this time I'm going to tap on photos and I can scroll through and find a nice picture of green tea. I'm going to pick this one. It's going to drop right onto my post area, but you can see it has a white background, which is covering up the gradient. We don't want that. So click on position at the top and then click to back, and that will put the photograph behind the gradient area. So we no longer see the white border. And make it bigger, move the gradient out of the way a little bit, create a nice kind of visual relationship between the photograph and the gradient shape. And when you have everything where you want it, we're going to go ahead and adjust the colors. So pick the gradient, tap the color dot at the top, and get the eyedropper from the color panel. Hold the eyedropper over the photograph, and you'll pick a color right out of the photograph. Instant harmony between the gradient and the photograph. You can adjust the transparency a little bit to make it softer so the color isn't quite as bold or harsh, but it still maintains the same harmonious relationship with the color in the photograph because that's where it came from. Okay, you can do the same thing with the words. Pick color from the photograph or one of the colors that's already selected because it remembers the one you just used, and bring that into the words. All right, everything here is looking pretty good. I think we're about ready to move on to our third social media post. So we are going to duplicate this one by tapping the duplicate button in the upper, right above the upper right hand corner there. make a copy of it just like we did with the first one. Then we're going to delete the photograph, we're going to delete the gradient, and I'm going to get some new words. So we're going to head back over to ChatGPT. This time I'm asking for things about matcha instead of green tea. Make it a little bit more specific. So I'm going to pick those words and drop them right on the other ones, replacing them. I want each word to be on its own line. So let's make the text box much narrower, make it left aligned. Slide it over to the left side because left aligned looks good on the left side. And then, of course, find a new font. And so the font I'm going to use is the Elicta. It's got a lot of characters, so I'm going to make it really big so we can see all these details in the letters. Looks really good. I'm going to adjust the letter spacing a little bit. And then I'm going to go get some other words for the bottom part of the text right now. So I like this one here, your new morning ritual. Copy that. And go back over to Canva, paste it on the box where the hashtag was, and then stretch that out to fit into the space. I want another picture here, so I'm going to type in matcha background. I'm going to use photos, and of course there's always a lot to choose from, so scroll through, take your time until you find something that feels right. That picture is going to land right on your post. This one's a little small, so we're going to position it and then use one of those corners to make it bigger. Of course, now we can't read the words very well, so obviously we need to do some work there with the color. So pick the words, pick the color, and you can try the color selected from the photos. This kind of beige color is pretty nice. It's still a little dark though. So we'll go in with the custom color, pick the eyedropper, and I'm going to slide it right over that bamboo scoop to get a nice bamboo color. I'm also going to use that color in the text at the bottom. It's already saved, so just pick the text, tap on the color, and you have it. This looks pretty good, but I'm thinking there might be a better photograph, and Canva often has similar photographs along the same theme or with the same object. So I'm going to go back and search a little bit more to find this photograph instead, which is similar, but it might fit better with the words and the layout that I have for my post. So I'm just going to drop it in there, make it the right size, slide it over a little bit. And I think, I like this combination. The bowl looks better. There's more green tea visible. It's pretty good. So now I'm going to save or export my 3 posts, but scroll through them, make sure everything looks the way you want it. Like, I'm not really sure I like number 1 now that I've seen what happened on 2 and 3. So I'm going to come back to number 1 and make some adjustments with the color there to get something feels a little bit better to me. All right, now we're going to export them. So go up to share in the upper right-hand corner and then tap on download. Make sure that all pages is selected. Then click the purple download button and go to your desktop. Look for the .zip file that you just downloaded. When you double click on it, it will open a folder, and inside the folder will be all the social media posts that you just made.